Harris today was in perhaps the most crucial state of them all, Pennsylvania, where she took questions from the National Association of Black Journalists. When asked again if the country is better off now than we were 4 years ago, she listed off what she views as the current administration's accomplishments. But she once again did not directly say yes, instead acknowledging several widespread concerns.
Is the price of groceries still too high? Yes. Do we have more work to do? Yes. And I will tell you, I do believe that I offer a new generation of leadership for our country.
I mentioned all the candidates are out on the trail. Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, set to speak in the battleground state of North Carolina in about an hour's time. But we begin tonight here on the Hill with Tim Murtaugh. He is a senior advisor for the Trump campaign, joins us live once again here on the Hill. Tim, thanks for being back with us. Appreciate it.
Sure. Good to see you, Blake.
You as well. So you heard from Kamala Harris there. She was asked today in an interview the standard question, basically, are we better off than we were 4 years ago, like she did in the debate. She didn't say yes. And you heard part of her response there. Tim, we know that this is a tight race, potentially a coin flip race. And if she can't answer yes to that question, why is this race so close at this point in time?
Well, I think the race is close because just look at what the races were in 2016 and 2020. I mean, the country is set up to be a very close election, especially because you have to deal with the battleground states in the Electoral College. We expect a close race this time around as well. But you pointed it out right there and you illustrated it perfectly. She is absolutely unable to adequately answer the question of, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? The answer is obviously no. She is forced to acknowledge that groceries cost too much, gas costs too much. And then when you say, well, how are you going to fix it? She says, oh, I'm part of the new generation of leadership. Well, no, you're not. You are the current vice president of the United States. If you are acknowledging that all these things are problems facing the country, she has got to be held accountable for what in the world she's actually been doing these last 3.5 years. She is the Harris in the Biden-Harris administration, and she's acting like she just got to Washington this morning. It's insane. She's the incumbent vice president. She bears responsibility for the policies that got us into this mess in the first place. I don't blame her for not wanting to answer the question, but that's the situation.
So Kamala Harris is in Pennsylvania, Tim. Recent poll out shows Harris up 3 there potentially, though that polling in that state has been razor thin. Here's what I took note of, though. The good news for Donald Trump when it comes to men, he's up plus 12, 53 to 41. But on the other side of it, when it comes to women, Donald Trump is down in Pennsylvania, Tim, 56 to 39. We have talked now for 3 races about this issue for Donald Trump when it comes to women. And how do you win Pennsylvania, Tim, if that is the scenario where he is minus 17 with women, which make up about 53% of the electorate?
Well, first, I would note that she also has a problem with male voters. She's got a sizable gap where she's trailing Donald Trump in male voters. I would point to the idea that women care about the economy as well. Women care about safe streets. Women care about not having to choose between putting gas in the gas tank of the car and putting food on the table. Those are the issues that are going to decide this election in Pennsylvania and in every other race. And if
so
we
why
want
is
to talk
he
about
minus
that
17 with women?
I'm sorry?
So why is he minus 17 with women?
I understand that. And I just said the issues that are going to decide this race are going to be kitchen table issues, economic issues. Which candidate do you trust to right the ship, to control inflation? In the CNN poll that occurred right after the debate, Donald Trump grew his lead on the question of who do you trust in the economy, went from 16 to 20. This Suffolk USA Today poll that is the one you're citing for me here, do you know in 2016, it showed at this point in the race, it showed Hillary Clinton with almost a 9-point lead and Donald Trump won Pennsylvania. In 2020, it showed Joe Biden with an over 6-point lead. And in the end, it was only a 1-point race. So I think it's very important to look at where this race ends up rather than as a snapshot. Republicans have eaten into the Democrat advantage of registered voters in Pennsylvania by about 400,000 voters. Republicans have gained on the registered voter contest there, Democrats versus Republicans. It's not the same state, not the same electorate. People are using the polling data, the polling models that they did the last time. It's not the same state
Republicans,
anymore.
Yeah, no, Republicans have made gains there. Democrats, I believe, though, still have about a plus 300,000 or so voter registration total in
It's not like it was in 2020 when it was a 1-point
correct.
race.
There is some movement there. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.